dash refers to the mix between owner's funds and borrowed funds. So it is the capital structure. Before the sender sends the message, the receiver assumes that this may be the message. That is premature evaluation. In advertising, it involves transmission of standardized messages. It is inflexible as the message can't be adjusted according to the needs of the buyer. Hello everyone, I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. I welcome you all to this session. In this session, we will be having a discussion on the Model Question Paper 23-24 released by the PU Board. Now let us see what this question paper has. See, this is the Model Question Paper for 23-24 which has been released by the PU Board. Now we have the instructions here. The time limit is 3 hours 15 minutes and the maximum marks is 80. Now they have given the instructions to the candidates. The question paper contains 4 parts. Part A, B, C and D. Part A consists of 4 sections 1, 2, 3 and 4. Write the serial number of the questions properly as given in the question paper while answering. Write the correct and the complete answer. So we have 4 parts in the question paper. Part A, Part B, Part C and Part D. So you have been instructed to write the serial number properly and also write the correct and the complete answer. Okay, so now we have the Part A. So this comprises of the MCQs. Now there will be a fill in the blank where you will be given 4 options. You have to choose any one of the option here. Then, so this is a continuation of Part A, that is the MCQ. In the second section, we have the fill in the blanks and the match the following. And then we'll have 5 1-mark questions. And then in Part B, it will comprise of 2 marks questions. That is, out of 10, you'll have to answer any 6. So 6 into 2 is 12. Then in the Part C, you will be answering 4-mark questions. So out of this 10 questions, you have to answer any 6. Then in the Part D, you will have 5 questions. Out of this, any 3 you have to answer. So now let us go into the solution for the question paper here. So here, choose the correct answer. The first question is the top level management consists of dash. So the top level management consists of the chairman. So the answer is chairman. The second one, Henry Fayol was a mining engineer. So this is the correct answer. Then third one, a strategy is derived from objectives. So depending on the objectives of the organization, you frame the strategy. Then fourth one, Ganga Limited is a company dealing in metal products. The work is mainly divided into functions including production, purchases, marketing, finance and HR. Identify the type of organizational structure followed by the organization. Now, if you can see that they have the entire company is divided on the basis of the functions. So, on the basis of functions, if it is divided, it is a functional structure. Then, in the fifth question, which of the following is a promotion mix? So, in this, which of the following is a promotion mix? So, the answer is advertising. This is the promotion mix. Now, next one, fill in the blanks by choosing the appropriate words. See, they have given the answers here. See, motivator, trademark, emergency, budget, capital structure and motivation. Out of these, you have to fill in the blanks here. So, the gang blank can be used in case of emergency. A dash is a statement of expected results expressed in numerical terms. That is a budget. Then, dash is the technique used to motivate people in the organization. It is motivation. Motivation. Then dash refers to the mix between owner's funds and borrowed funds. So it is the capital structure. Capital structure. The part of the seal that is given legal protection is called trademark. So next we have the match the following here. So in the match the following, general guidelines, they are the characteristics to business. Then authority is the right to command. Recruitment is a staffing process. Controlling is a management function. Advertisement is related to marketing. So these are the different match the following you will have to do. Then next one is the first 1 mark questions. What is process? So it is a primary function or the activities that the management performs to get the things done. So it is the primary function or it is the activity that the management does to get the things done. Now the second question, state any one difference between training and development. So what is training? Training is a process of increasing the knowledge and skill, whereas development is a process of learning and growth. So in training, it will help you increase your skill, whereas in development, it is based on the overall growth of the person. Then name the theory evolved by Abraham Maslow. It is Maslow's needs hierarchy theory. Then a company wants to establish a new unit in which a machinery worth rupees 10 lakh is involved. Identify the type of decision involved in financial management. So this is an investment decision because the company wants to purchase a machinery. So purchase means it is an investment decision. Then in which year the Consumer Protection Act was passed? It was passed in the year 1986. Then define management. So these are the 2 mark questions. Define management. Management is the process of getting things done with the aim of achieving goals effectively and efficiently. Then state any 2 principles of scientific management contributed by F.W. Taylor. The first one is science, not rule of thumb. Second one is harmony, not discord. Next, what is method? Method provides the ways or the manner in which a task has to be performed. It deals with a task comprising one step of a procedure and specifies how this step is to be performed. The method may vary from task to task. So method means they'll give you every step and how each step has to be performed. Everything will be properly mentioned. So that is what we call as the method. Then state any 2 differences between formal and informal organization. Now formal organization, it is a structure of authority relationships created by management. It arises out of the company's rules and policies. Whereas in an informal organization, it is a network of social relationships arising out of interactions between the employees. It arises out of personal qualities. So here it is done by the management. Here it is because of the interaction among the employees. And there it is guided by rules and policies, where here it is arises out of personal qualities. Any 2 internal sources of recruitment, it is transfers and promotions. Then state any 2 psychological barriers to communication. The first one is premature evaluation of the message by the receiver. So before the sender sends the message, the receiver assumes that this may be the message. That is premature evaluation. Second one is lack of attention, not listening to the message. Third one is poor retention by the receiver. So if the receiver fails or if he fails to remember the message, then it is a psychological barrier. Then distrust between the sender and receiver of the message. Then write any 2 limitations of controlling. First one is difficulty in setting quantitative standards, little or no control over the external forces. So for controlling, we need to set standards. Only quantitative standards can be set, but not qualitative standards. So the controlling function will not work on external factors which affect the business. Then State the twin objectives of financial planning: making funds available at the right time and at the right quantity to see that the firm does not raise funds unnecessarily. So these are the two main objectives of financial planning. Then give two examples for convenience goods. You can write ice creams, newspapers. Then any two responsibilities of the consumer. So it is be aware about the various goods and services available in the market. Buy only standardized goods as they provide quality assurance. So these are the two responsibilities of the consumer. Next, briefly explain any four principles of management contributed by Henry Fayol. So the first principle contributed by Henry Fayol is division of work. So he says that work should be divided into tasks or jobs, and each job should be performed by a specialist. In this way, we can improve the efficiency and productivity of the organization. Second one is authority and responsibility. Authority is the right to give orders and exact obedience. Responsibility is being answerable to the assigned task. Both authority and responsibility go hand in any organization. Then the next principle is discipline. It is obeying the rules and regulations of the company. It is essential for the smooth functioning of the organization. Unity of command. It means that in a formal organization, every employee should receive orders from one superior and be responsible to that superior only. So these are the four principles laid down by Henry Fayol. Next, the court passed an order to ban polythene bags as these bags are creating many environmental problems. So this is a reference to the social environment. The society in general is more concerned about the quality of life. So this is the legal environment. The government decided to give subsidy to the jute industry to promote the business. It is the political environment. Innovative techniques are being developed to promote the business. It is the technological environment. So identify the different dimensions of the environment by quoting the lines from the above particulars. So we have identified each line and to what dimension they belong. It's already been identified. Then, no enterprises can achieve its objectives without systematic planning. Do you agree with this? Give any four importance in support of your answer. So, any organization cannot have success unless and until it has a proper plan. So, they are asking you a question on what is the importance of planning. So, in importance of planning, the first importance is planning provides directions. So, planning ensures that the goals of the organizations are clearly stated so that the employees are aware of what the organization has to do and what they must do to achieve these goals. So planning provides directions. So it will tell us what we have to do. Second one is planning reduces the risk of uncertainty. It helps to develop a remedial action against future uncertainties and reduces the risk of the business. So here planning will help reduce the risk of uncertainty. Then the third importance is it reduces overlapping and wasteful activities. Planning facilitates the coordination of the activities of different departments and individuals and avoids duplication of activities. So with planning, we can see that there is proper coordination and there is no duplication. Planning promotes innovative ideas. Planning is a thinking and decision-making process. Many new ideas come up in the minds of the managers. So these innovative ideas can take the shape of concrete plans leading to the growth and prosperity of the business. Next, Akash is working in an organization. After every month, his manager transfers him from one department to another so that he may gain a broader understanding of all the departments of the organization. Name and explain the method of training Akash is undergoing. So, his boss is transferring him from one department to the other. So, we have to identify what kind of a training it is. So, it is on-the-job training called as the job job rotation. It is a method of training which involves rotation of employee from one department to another so that the trainee may learn the working of the various departments. He gets a chance to test his aptitude and abilities. So by job rotation, when he works in the various departments, he will be able to know the job of each of the department. Then explain briefly the first 4 steps involved in the controlling process. So setting performance standards. Standards are the criteria against which performance would be measured. It can be set in both qualitative and quantitative terms. Second one is measurement of actual performance. So measurement of actual performance should be made on the basis of various reports and statements received from the subordinates. It can also be made by personal observation. So employ people to check what is the work they are doing, and in this way you will be able to measure the actual performance. Comparing actual performance with the standard, such a comparison will reveal the deviation of the actual from the standard. And fourth one is analyzing the deviations. Deviations which are beyond the acceptable range of deviations. So that is the deviation in the key areas of business need to be determined and attended urgently. Effort should be made to identify the exact cause of deviation to facilitate corrective actions to be taken. And the last step is taking corrective action. Corrective action may involve training of employees, providing additional facilities, revision of standards, improve the physical conditions of work, or modify the existing process. Next. The next question is, name the capital needed to run the day-to-day business. The capital needed to run the day-to-day business is called as the working capital. So what are the 4 factors which affect such a capital? So factors affecting working capital are, the first one is the nature of business. The nature of business influences the amount of working capital required. For instance, a trading business and service industries requires less working capital, while manufacturing business require more working capital since raw materials needs to be converted into a finished goods. So in the nature of business, we should understand that depending on the type of business, the amount of working capital needed will be decided. The scale of operation. A business with large scale operations needs large amount of working capital to hold more inventory. On the other hand, a business concerned with small scale operations needs less of working capital. Then next one is the business cycle. In case of boom, demand for goods increases, requiring large amount of working capital. In case of recession, demand for goods declines, requiring lesser amount of working capital. Seasonal factors. In peak, due to the higher level of activity, larger amount of working capital is required. On the other hand, during the lean season, the working capital requirement will be lower. Then the next question is, as a publisher, you have published a new book on marketing management. How will you determine the price of this book? Briefly explain any 4 factors of pricing. So the first factor which affects the pricing is the actual cost involved in production of the product. The product cost, it includes the cost of producing, distributing and selling the product. The cost sets the minimum level or the floor price at which the product may be sold. So that is the minimum amount of the price at which the product has to be sold. The second one is the utility and demand. The buyer may be ready to pay up to the point where the utility from the product is at least equal to the sacrifice made in terms of the price paid. So the utility, so if the product is of very good use, then it should be justified by the price he is paying for the product. The seller tries to cover the cost and adds a margin of profit to it. If the demand of the product is inelastic, the firm is in a better position to fix the higher prices for the product. Next, extent of competition in the market. The price will tend to reach the upper limit in case there is a degree of competition while under conditions of free competition, the price will tend to be at the lowest level. Then government regulation. In order to protect the interest of public against unfair practices in the field of price fixing, the government can intervene and regulate the price of commodities. It can declare a product as an essential product and regulate its price. So the four factors affecting the pricing are the product cost, then we have the extent of competition, utility and demand, and government regulation. Then state any four differences between advertising and personal selling. Now in advertising, it is an impersonal form of communication. So we don't have any face-to-face communication here. Second one is it involves transmission of standardized messages. So in advertising, it involves transmission of standardized messages. It is inflexible as the message can't be adjusted according to the needs of the buyer. Next one is a large number of people can be approached. So in advertisement, we have these four options. Next one is the personal selling. It is a personal form of communication. The sales talk is adjusted according to the customer's background, highly flexible as the message can be adjusted. Only limited number of people can be contacted at a time. So in personal selling, we have face-to-face interaction. So it is a personal form. The sales talk is adjusted according to the customer and it is highly flexible. You can adjust the message as much as possible and only limited reach in personal selling. Next, briefly explain any four rights of the consumer. The first right is right to safety. The health and life of the consumer is to be protected against manufacturing and other defects in the food products, medicines, electrical appliances, gas cylinders, pressure cookers, and other similar products and services. So, right to safety means you have to explain what are those products which ensure the safety of the consumer. That is the food products, medicines, electrical appliances, etc. Then, right to be informed. A consumer has the right to get true and complete information about the quality, quantity, price, contents, direction for use, date of manufacture, expiry date of goods and services which he intends to buy. Next is the right to be heard. Consumer has the right to seek redressal against any defect or deficiency in the product or the service. Next is right to choose. The consumer has the right to choose the product of his choice out of the available alternative products. Next, explain the objectives of management. So this is the last section in the question paper, that is the 8-mark questions. So there will be 5 questions. Out of that, you'll have to answer 3. The first question is explain the objectives of management. Now the objectives of management can be divided into 3 groups, that is the organizational objective, personal objective, and the social objective. Now here we have the organizational objectives. So first one is the survival. Ensure survival of the organization by earning adequate profits. Then profit, it is essential for covering the costs of the business. Then growth, management must ensure that there is increase in production, increase in sales volume, increase in the number of employees, increase in the capital investment are all indicators of the growth of the organization. Then we have the social objectives. So use environmental friendly methods of production, providing basic amenities, giving employment opportunities. So these are the social objectives of management. Next, we have the personal objectives, satisfying the financial needs of the employees. How do you satisfy? By giving them fair salaries, incentives, and other financial benefits. Satisfying the social needs of the employees, that is peer recognition, recognition by superiors. Then creating career opportunities for personal growth and development. So these are the 3 objectives you have to mention. Then 38th one, the role of the organization is important for a business organization to successfully achieve its goals. Explain the importance of organization to justify this statement. The most repeated question in the question paper. Explain the importance of organizing. So, the importance of organizing here, the first one is the benefits of specialization. So, it leads to systematic allocation of jobs among the workforce. Right person is placed in the right job. It leads to specialization and increases the efficiency and productivity of the employees. So, we can get the benefits of specialization with the help of organizing. Second one is clarity in working relationships. It clearly defines the authority and responsibility of each individual in an organization. Every individual has clarity as to whom he can give orders and from whom he has to receive the orders. Then, third one is optimum use of resources. It ensures proper allocation of jobs. It leads to optimum use of material, financial, and human resources. This avoids duplication of work and helps in minimizing the wastage of the resources. So, optimum use of resources. Next one is adaptation to change. The process of organizing allows the business enterprise to accommodate changes in the business environment. It allows the organization to be suitably modified. And the fifth point is effective or administration. Organizing provides a clear description of jobs. It helps to avoid confusion and duplication. Clarity in working relationships enables proper execution of work. So these are the importance. Next one is development of personnel. By providing well-defined areas of work and ensuring delegation of authority, organizing provides sufficient freedom to the managers and encourages the initiative and creativity. The next one is expansion and growth. It enables an organization to take up the challenges, allows the business enterprise to add more job positions, departments, new products, and new geographical territories. So these are the importance of organizing. So the next question is, explain the stages involved in the staffing process. So in the staffing process, the first stage is estimating the manpower requirement. So what is the number of vacancies in the organization and what are the various qualifications and experience you need in order to fill up the various positions here. So it involves determining the number of persons, the type of persons having the desired qualifications, skills, experience required for the performance of various jobs in the organization. Second process is the recruitment. It is the process of searching the candidates for employment and stimulating them to apply for jobs so that the right people in the right number can be selected. So that is recruitment. Third one is the selection. It is the process of choosing the suitable candidates from among the job applicants to fill the various jobs in the organization. So from the applications received, you select those applications which have the necessary qualification. Placement and orientation. The selected employee is taken around the workplace, introduced to other employees and informed about the rules and regulations of the organization. So you give him a position and introduce him to the rules and regulations of the organization. Next is the training and development. It is the process by which the aptitude, skills and abilities of the employees are increased. Next one is the performance appraisal. It involves evaluating an employee's current and past performance as against certain predetermined standards. Next one is promotion and career planning. So managers need to take measures to provide promotional avenues from their employees. They must encourage employees to grow and realize their full potential. Compensation. A properly developed compensation system enables an employer to attract, obtain, retain, and motivate people of required caliber and qualification in his organization. Then the next question is, Explain the principles of directing that must be followed for effective direction. Now, the various principles are, the first one is the principle of maximum individual contribution. This principle emphasizes that the directing techniques must help every individual to contribute his maximum potential for achievement of the organizational objectives. So, every individual must put in 100% effort for the achievement of the organizational objective. It should bring out untapped energies of employees for the efficiency of the organization. For this purpose, management may have a good motivation plan with suitable monetary and non-monetary rewards. Then, second one is harmony of objectives. Now, what is this harmony of objectives? Good directing should provide harmony of individual objectives of the employees and the organizational objectives. It can be ensured by convincing that employees' rewards and work efficiency are complementary to each other. That is, the more efficient he is, the more rewards he can get. Then, next one is the principle of unity of command. It insists that a person in the organization should receive instructions once from superior only. Adherence to this principle ensures effective direction. So, one person, one boss. Then, appropriateness of the direction technique. So, according to this, depending upon situations, appropriate motivational and leadership techniques should be used while directing the people. For example, for some people, money can act as a powerful motivator, while for others, promotion may be an effective motivator. So, these are the different ways in which you can have the motivation techniques. Then, the fifth one is managerial communication. So, effective managerial communication across makes a direction effective. It should convey clear instructions to create total understanding to the subordinates. Through proper feedback, he should ensure that the subordinate understands his instructions clearly. So, whenever the manager is giving instructions, he should ensure that it is clear, and he should also collect feedback in order to see that they have understood his instructions in the proper way. Then, use of informal organization. A manager should identify the informal enterprise and make use of such organizations for effective directing. Then, next one is the leadership. So, while directing, the subordinates manager should exercise good leadership, as it can influence the subordinates positively without causing dissatisfaction. So, if he is a good leader, then his subordinates will automatically follow him. But if he is not able to lead the team, then it may cause dissatisfaction among the subordinates. Then the last principle is follow through. Mere giving of an order is not sufficient. The manager should follow it up by reviewing continuously whether orders are being implemented accordingly or problems are being encountered. So, we should know that what is the follow-up we are doing. Then we have the last question here of part D. Explain any 8 functions of marketing. So, the first function of marketing is gathering and analyzing the information. So, it is to gather and analyze the information. That is the first function of marketing. It involves gathering information about the market conditions, such as the number of potential consumers, their location, their preference, their purchasing power, etc. Further, they must be analyzed, and it is necessary to identify the needs of the customers and take various decisions for successful marketing of the products and services. So, once you collect information relating to the customers, you study it properly, and then you take important decisions. Then, the second function of marketing is marketing planning. So, what is this marketing planning? If the marketer of a product X decides to increase his market share by 20% over the last year's share, he has to develop a complete marketing plan for increasing the level of production, So promotion of the product, etc., to achieve his target. So with the help of proper planning, he will be able to market his products. Then third one is product designing and development. Another important marketing activity relates to product designing and development. A good design of the product gives it a competitive edge in the market. Then the next one is standardization and grading. Standardization means producing goods of predetermined specifications, which helps in achieving uniformity and consistency in output. So this is another important marketing activity. So produce standardized goods with proper specifications. So it also involves grading, the process of classification of products into different groups on the basis of some important characteristics such as the quality, size, etc. So that is called as the grading. So you have standardization for manufactured goods and grading for agricultural products. Then packaging and labeling. So packaging protects the products and also serves as a promotional tool. So it has played an important role in the success of many of the consumer products in recent times, such as all this wafers, Clinic Plus shampoo, etc. So packaging, with the help of packaging, you'll be able to attract the customers towards the products. Then next one is branding. So giving a brand name to the products such as Renault, Samsung, cell phone, etc. So our important function of marketing, it helps in distinguishing the product of a firm with that of the competitor. The next one is the customer support service. A very important function is it relates to developing the customer support service such as after sales services, handling customer complaints and adjustments, procuring credit services, maintenance services, technical services, consumer information, etc. All these services aim to provide maximum satisfaction to the customers, which is the key to marketing success. Then the last function of marketing is the pricing of the product. The marketers have to properly analyze the factors such as the cost of production, profit expected, competitors' price, and determine the appropriate price, because the demand for a product or service is related to the price. So these are the 8 functions of marketing. With this, we come to the end of this session. Hope you have all followed that. Thank you.